Let's watch a Piers Morgan panel where Mehdi Hasan absolutely shreds Piers on multiple topics from Elon Musk to Donald Trump, where I thought we could use this to shed some light and, of course, add the additional context.
Yesterday, a reporter asked Donald Trump, do you think Mark Zuckerberg has rolled over for you because you threatened him? And he said, yeah, probably. He didn't say, no, I didn't threaten him. He said, yeah, probably. So that authoritarian streak is there. It's coming our way. We've got a lot of media companies. You're a big free speech champion, I know. Should be worried about a lot of media bosses just rolling over for an incoming government. It's not a healthy relationship in a democracy. I'm worried, and Elon Musk's role is a very interesting and scary role. We have the world's richest man, owner of the most influential messaging platform on the planet, probably, now getting a government job, lots of conflicts of interest, but also got the ear of the president-elect, but writing pieces in German, in the German newspapers in favor of a party aligned with neo-Nazis, pushing Tommy Robinson, a man who you and I know who he really is, maybe Americans don't, pushing for Tommy Robinson's freedom, pushing for the right in Canada. You know, it's scary stuff, Piers.
Yeah, it's not only outright authoritarian and the second core step to fascism, but it's hilarious to see the party of free speech who cried about censorship now cheering on Donald Trump, threatening social media and media companies, forcing them to bend to his will. The FBI reaching out to Mark Zuckerberg and being like, hey, this laptop could potentially be Russian misinformation. Watch out for that, but do as you will. That's censorship, but Trump going, I threatened Facebook and now they're doing whatever I want. Like, that's not censorship. This just shows why you can't take any of these positions that these clowns pretend that they care about serious, because it only counts to them in so much they can use it against Democrats. Like, they try and use it as attack against Democrats using any conspiracy they can that are usually baseless and they have no evidence for. But then when Trump does it right in front of their eyes, like the evidence is all publicly available, they're just like, cry more libs. Like, okay, so you just don't actually believe anything you were pretending this last 12 months. It was just convenient because you could point at the Democrats and say it. And Elon not only has a conflict of interest, he represents the elites shifting into power and the establishment rule finally retaking over, instituted by the exact voters who thought that they were fighting against the establishment. All the while, he's now just promoting neo-Nazi groups and ideas, which is largely because to these guys, the anti-establishment thing that they represent is actually just anti-Semitism that's being sold to them. Ask yourself now, why is Elon in power supporting far-right neo-Nazi groups? Ask yourself, why is George Soros, Mark Zuckerberg, deep state elites, and the establishment meddling in politics, and it's evil and we need to watch out for it in this grand conspiracy, but Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk aren't? Well, I'll tell you, it's because the first two are Jewish.
By the way, Zuckerberg's comments are a reminder that it was never liberal dominated. People like me on the left never accepted that bullshit premise. The liberal media, the liberal Silicon Valley. Yeah, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and Peter Thiel are not liberals. And I just think, you know, the whole woke stuff, you and I have debated that many times before. On the Hunter Biden stuff, that was very exaggerated. But it's funny you should mention the Hunter Biden New York Post suppression story, because that's what Musk is doing now, Piers. Surely, I know you like Elon Musk, but surely you've seen that he has been very repressive in his running of Twitter. Anyone he doesn't like, who goes against him, he nukes their accounts. He nuked a report the other day about whether or not he's Adrian Dittman or not. He has restricted access to pieces. He suspended journalists. You know this, right? There's data showing that Twitter has actually complied more with foreign government takedown requests on Musk's watch than on Jack Dorsey's watch. As for the comparison, the boots on the other foot, you'd have to point to me where Kamala Harris threatened the media when she was running for president. You'd have to point to me where Joe Biden was suing CBS News as Donald Trump is doing right now.
Exactly. No one outside of MAGA actually buys into this premise that media is owned and controlled by liberals. Conservatives have always controlled the media narrative in this country. Same with big tech. Peter Thiel is not a liberal. Elon Musk is not a liberal. Quick side note, Elon Musk was also never a liberal. I don't even know where this MAGA lie came from, where they parrot this all the time now. You can watch Elon Musk interviews from when he was younger, way back, speaking on how he's a libertarian, which is a right-leaning ideology in America. Literally has never been a liberal. Mark Zuckerberg, not a liberal. Another funny one, because MAGA tried to paint him as a liberal, though he didn't donate a single dollar to Joe Biden. He doesn't donate to Democrats. The only money he spent in 2020 2020 equally helped Republicans. And actually, on the ballot boxes that he funded, Republicans won more of the districts that had those ballot boxes in them. So this idea that they try to paint falls apart really fast with the least bit of critical thinking. The biggest media station is Fox News, right-leaning. The biggest news social media is owned by Elon Musk, a far right-winger. Local radio is controlled by Sinclair Media, which is a right-leaning media station. Conservatives control new media, Daily Wire, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin. The left doesn't even have anyone to parallel these people. Joe Rogan is a right-winger. Like, the reach in media and tech for the left pales in comparison to that on the right. And even when you look at the left-leaning medias, many of them are owned by conservative billionaires, which is going to skew the way they report on things. Hence why for weeks, liberal left media was bought into and obsessed with this idea that Joe Biden has dementia, despite the fact he can read teleprompters and talk to reporters. I mean, this was a right-wing thing. It was a right-wing conspiracy that left media was spreading because they're owned by conservative billionaires. Furthermore, the Hunter Biden laptop story is a nothing burger. Polling shows nobody would have cared, and neither do Republicans, because Judge Cannon censored Trump's election interference report until after the election, Musk censored the J.D. Vance dossier until after the election, and MAGA has nothing to say about this. These again, only matter to them in so much that they can use them conveniently against Democrats when they draw these baseless conspiracies. But when Republicans do it in front of their face, they will never speak on it. That is guaranteed.
You know why Trump's suing
Donald
people?
Trump right now.
Trump's suing people because actually people like George Stephanopoulos lied about him. They exaggerated what he'd been found guilty of, and guess what? When you lie,
you and I both know ABC. You and I both know ABC would have won in court.
ABC didn't go to court. They gave him $15 million. Now you might say,
why do you think that is, Piers?
Because
of
they
the
knew they
legal
were going to
arguments,
lose,
or because they're sucking up to an authoritarian,
or because they knew they were going to lose.
Bullshit. No legal expert agrees with you on that. Piers, legal experts don't agree with you on that. Actually, most lawyers don't agree with you on that. You're wrong.
Mehdi, you'll never agree with me about
the
things
opposite.
like that.
It's because they're scared. It's because everyone's bending the knee.
It doesn't suit your agenda to accept
it's
what
not
may
an
have been a
opinion,
simple
Piers.
case.
It's
George
not an opinion.
Stephanopoulos lied about him.
Do you support Donald Trump suing a pollster because he doesn't like a poll result?
I think Donald
this
Trump
is insane, Piers. I thought you were a free speech champion,
who he
but now
likes.
you're rolling over for Trump as well.
Donald Trump can sue who he likes.
Do you support it? Is my question. Do you support a president of the United States suing media organizations he doesn't like?
Do you
support
believe
that? Do you?
Do you believe he has a right to?
So you're rolling over like Mark Zuckerberg as well. Wow.
He's not a private citizen. He's not the same as you and me. That's the point here. It creates a different power imbalance to where, no, honestly, the president shouldn't. The incoming president shouldn't be able to sue people. Honestly, he himself is not allowed to face trial. I wonder why that is. So I think it should go both ways because yes, there's near unanimous consent among credible legal experts that there's no way Trump would have won this ABC case. The standard for defamation is pretty high. You have to prove the person lied in a way that was damaging to your character or reputation professionally or financially. The judge in the Trump case clarified that the way we use rape colloquially, Donald Trump absolutely raped E. Jean Carroll. ABC settled, again, because Trump is talking about pulling media licenses, all of this kinds of crazy stuff. And as the president, he will have powers to even further pressure them behind the scenes and make these companies comply and do as he will. So they are just trying to get out of the scope. That is literally clear. And that isn't something that should be cheered on. That's fascism. That's authoritarianism. It's him literally using his power, his position, his status to force them into paying him $15 million and not talking about him in a way that he doesn't like. He's trying to do the same with a pollster now just because he disagreed with the poll. When it's clear the lawsuit just stands in as the verbal threat or the warning where his position of power and what he could do to you with that position is what's really being threatened to have brought down on you.